Hello again my friends, this is the boy needs dog and welcome to a special edition of Everthoughts Retrospective Year 3 and also a Merry Bloody Christmas to you all. In today's bumper episode we will be examining the third year of Evercade releases, both games and hardware, taking a look at the year as a whole, ranking the carts and finally making my own ultimate collection cart from the games that were released in 2022. In the first year we got the OG handheld, and that sweet little beast still kind of stands up today, even with its basic features. One would assume not all carts work for it anymore, as the system no longer has updates, but to be honest, I haven't checked this. In year 2 we got the wonderful VS, which allowed us to play on the big screen without all the fiddle the OG gave us, and at 1080p, which was a nice bump up. We could also play multiplayer, and for lazy folk like me, stick 2 carts in at once, which at times could also unlock bonus games. Talking numbers, I can tell ye 10 collections were released in 2022. Yes, sadly this was the lowest cart release for a year so far, but there is always an argument to be had between quality and quantity, so let's not panic just yet. 8 were all new collections and 2 were sequel collections. 5 of the collections were for console games, 4 were for arcade. Wait a minute, we're missing a collection. That's because the third and final range was introduced with the home computer range, with 1 cart leading the charge. With a total of 79 games over the year, yes, that's 40 games less than the previous year. But again, don't panic just yet. Looking at the bigger picture up to this point, by the end of 2022 we had 27 console collections, 8 arcade collections and 1 home computer collection, with a grand total of 198 games. Not bad for 3 years, and that doesn't even include the secret games and something else which we will get into in a bit, and which has probably been one of my favourite features the Evercade system has given us. So in today's episode we will first look at the third year as a whole and go through what happened when. Then I'll be ranking all the carts against each other to find out where my favourite release of the third year of Evercade, and finally try to create my favourite cart from the games released in the year. Think of it as the Bad Banger collection of 2022 or something like that. Right, let's try and map the year as a whole and see what happened when. There were no new releases in the first 2 months of 2022 as per the course so far, all quiet at the mill. On March the 31st we got our first 2 releases with Renovation Collection 1 and Gremlin Collection 1. On April the 8th the first Evercade game in the month was launched. This feature I have been in love with from the start. We get to download and try out an indie game each month for the whole month for free, with the complete season box set in a sense coming out at the beginning of the following year with extra games included to boot. It made me excited for every month of the year and kept me constantly engaged with Evercade, and bonus for someone like me with a channel, it gave us more to talk about and get excited about and more ways to connect with viewers and fans of Evercade. The first game of the month was an absolute banger in the form of Tapeworm Disco Puzzle, an amazing addictive puzzler by the legend that is Low-Tech. Yes, we are massive fans of them. Always brilliant titles, always god tier, arguably better than Flea, and that game is the bangiest of bangers anyway. On May the 31st we got our next 2 releases in Morphcat Games Collection 1 and in Television Collection 2. And our second game of the month, Nessie the Robot, a cool little Mario-ish, very NES platform game that has a little more than first meets the eye with secrets and bonus bits. A lovely little package overall. In June we got our third game of the month, Requiem Soul's Adventure, which was a cool if slightly rough Zelda style adventure game with a top down out map that switches to side on view platform game for dungeons and temple style stages. At the end of July the Jellico Arcade 1 and the Jellico Arcade 2 was released. I said that the way around. And the fourth game of the month, Cowlitz Gamers Adventure Trilogy, which is a collection of 3 8-bit games, if the title didn't give enough of a clue on that game amount. Though not one of my top favourites of this first season, it's still quite a cool trilogy of games where you have to collect all the dots and get to the exit. Some groovy little stage designs will definitely keep you busy for a while. In August, we get our fourth game of the month, Anguna, Scourge of the Goblin King. Yes, it's Anguna. Yes, it's awesome. It's more of the same yet slightly different, as its progression system is quite different from the previous entry, and both are good, so awesome. In September we got our big announcement, the Evercade EXP, a new upgraded handheld, gorgeously all white, which I still think is a superior look, or the Founders Edition, jet black. I didn't go for the Founders this time as the pure white was just too gorgeous to ignore. This little beauty really packed a punch for so many reasons: a bigger, much nicer screen, a bigger, longer device overall actually, and this came into ultimate play with the XP's unique feature, the mighty Tate on Toast mode. Press the button tilts the image so arcade games that use the longer, thinner screens can now be played in their full glory. Though it would take a while for the attachment to help fools like me to get more comfortable while playing, still an awesome feature. Je adore. This also helped us built into these absolutely scrumptious devices were a collection of Capcom games, of all things. And so my Ghouls and Ghosts machine was born. And it's still the only way to play Ghouls and Ghosts on the telly through the Evercade. Sad times. And the game of the month was Ira the Crow Maiden, which was a neat, colourful and bright platformer where your character had a close quarters melee attack or could send a crow out for long range attacks. In October we only got a game of the month, but that game of the month was Lunar Journey, so all is forgiven. A great Game Boy style story adventure game. I really enjoyed this. It's not up there with another Game Boy style adventure and probably almost could be, I think it probably is best game on the Evercade ever, Deadius or Deadus, but it's still a damn good game if admittedly short. On November the 4th, the Hours Awakening Cathedral Duo Game Collection was released, as was the C64 Collection 1, making the first of many in a new collection of home computer games, the new Blue Label range. The game of the month for November is Yeah Be Bliss 2, Be Bliss 2, which has got a damn banging tune on some of the stages. It's a lot of fun, but ultimately a bit limited. And finally we reach December, and all my days it's a bit of a bumper month. On the 15th of December the final two collections of the year are released, and they are two arcade collections no less, Irem Arcade 1 and Toplin Arcade 1. Also on the 15th of December the Evercade EXP was released in two flavours, my preferred standard edition in white, love the box art for this one too, or the Black Founders edition. And the final game of the month for this first season, Gluttonous Humanity Lost. Now this game is an interesting one. I remember at the time people being not too excited about this title, but I found it fantastic. Yeah, it was rough around the edges, but it had great progression as you slowly learn new powers, and sticking to the ceiling and walls worked really well. And there were a fair few challenges to battle through, but yeah, this wasn't greatly received upon initial release. So again we begin with a quiet start to the year, and while it may not have ended on maybe as big a bang as the second year, it was still a bit of a sizzler, all said and done. Now, we know what happened in the third year of Evercade goodness. It's time to rank those pesky collections. It's notable we've dropped 2 carts a year so far, from 14 to 12 and from 12 to 10. Will be interesting to see if that pattern continues across the board. Spoiler, it doesn't. Now we have all collections and all 3 ranges to rank against each other from this year, compared to just consoles and arcades in the second year and only consoles in the first. Number 10. And in 10th place is the Gremlins Collection 1. Seeing Gremlin got me so excited at the time, a big name from when I was younger. Only 6 games doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing, depending on the games. But 2 of the games are football, and one of them is football management. Niche upon niche, and not my niche. Hashtag not my niche. Okay, so for me, down to 4 games. What we got left? A Game Boy mirror-based puzzle game. Interesting, but not a long-term pull like the other titles. We've got Hardcore 4x4, Off-Road Racing, early PS1 3D. You got me there, I'm interested. Zool, I love this on the Amiga. Oh, the console version just does not feel the same to me. It's like it's artificially sped up, if that even makes sense, and covers what I'm trying to convey. Everyone wanted to be Sonic for a while, didn't they? The Sonic call was deafening for a time, maybe even swallowing Mario for the new cooler kid on the block. And finally we got Utopia strategy game, another niche entry on a cart of only 6, which if you're into is a great thing. Me, not as much as I used to be, and Football Manager games can do one. So what I'm concluding here, this cart isn't really for me. The games I like aren't really stellar enough to pull this cart any higher up my list, regardless of how much I adore Gremlin games in the past. Number 9. And in 9th place is Intellivision Collection 2. Our second Intellivision collection, with actually a couple of cool little titles on here. But again, nothing can keep me coming back and back again. Now I have all the other collections. But saying all that, the 2 RPGs did keep me quite busy for a while. And I fancy if I randomly put either game on after a bit of distance, I'm bound to get caught up once again on my EXP. At least for a little while. It's again still cool that I've finally been able to play Intellivision games, even if their cards aren't some of my absolute favourites. They still have some great games that warrant their existence in the Evercade console range. Number 8. And in 8th place is the C64 Collection 1. There are a whopping 14 games in this collection, which is not to be sniffed at. Are they all AAA bangers? Maybe not, but there is something undeniable about C64 games, a distinct feeling you can't really feel anywhere else. This is exactly the same as Spectrum, of course, which was my machine of choice at the time. And though I dabbled with my mate C64, this is the first time I've got a physical collection of my own to enjoy. As there are too many games to mention, I'll just point out my favourites. Gateway to Psy, is it? A groovy little dungeon crawler. Jumpman, a very basic simple platform game that is rather addictive. Lee, yeah, it's Bruce Lee without the license, it's cool. Marauder, a groovy vertical scroller, can be a bit of a bitch, but me likes quite a bit anyway. Number 7. In 7th place is Morphcat Games Collection 1. There are only 5 games on this collection, but when they are 2 versions of the awesome Micro Mages, Space Gulls, Bubble, and my personal favourite Super Bat Puncher, I ain't going to complain. Yeah, I hear you, Super Bat Puncher is but a demo, you fool. It's Uchisan Ultimate Poi Battle all over again. Uchisan Gate, hashtag. But the demo is so fully formed, it's full of so many little secrets and sweet touches, and a promise for something to come that never did. And I love it for all those things, and probably a couple more. But the Bubble game can't be sniffed at either, that is damn good. It's just a good card overall, honestly. Definitely not a waste of your time or your money. Number 6. And in 6th place is Renovation Collection 1. This is a not to be sniffed at 12 games in the collection, and for some notoriety, held the award for quite some time for including the worst game on the Evercades system. Yes, I'm talking about Beast Wrestler. Did they ever get beaten? I can't recall. I remember thinking there was a game that came close, but as of writing, I can't think of what it is, or if it was decided that yes, that was worse than worst title, though I shudder to think too much about it. Now, there are quite a few bangers on this cart, and a couple of great game soundtracks to boot. Oh, there's one going on in the background now. I have a soft spot for the Dino Land, the dinosaur pinball game, Gary's and Soul Juice, two horizontal scrolling shooters, and the RPG Tricia. But there are other great games too. It is a really good collection, and it has actually warmed on me quite a lot. Number 5. And in 5th place is Toplan Arcade 1. There are 8 games in this collection, including a handful of great shoot-em-ups, Truxton being one of them. A great puzzler with an unfortunate sounding name we should just call Tacky here. And a fantastic single screen eliminator in Snow Bros. Again, while not one of the greatest of its type, though some I think say it is, it's still well made and I think better than its sequel. I used to rate this collection much higher, and although I still like it a lot, others from this year have grown on me more as time has continued. Number 4. And in 4th place is the Jellicoe Arcade 1 collection. There are 8 games on this cart, sorry that noise made me laugh, including 3 shoot-em-ups I love. Side Battler, the arcade version of EDF Earth Defense Force. Still can't work out if it's the console or arcade version of that game I prefer. I think I just bloody like them both. And probably my secret special favourite, Saint Dragon. I just love the look of it, the art style. Oh, it's gorgeous. As Prince once sung, she's got that look, probably. We've also got another one of those single screen eliminator all enemy style games I can't get enough of, as much as I can't describe what to call them, in Rodland. It's not my favourite of its type, again, even less so now with some newer releases, but it's still a fine example of this awesome unnameable genre. It's just another really good car all round. Number 3. And in 3rd place is the Jellicoe Collection 2. There is only 6 games, but one is the Blue Peter Puzzler, Maniac Square, or you can hear the music in the background now, with an awesome hidden earlier bombastic version. And the sequel to my favourite racer on the Evercade with World Rally 2. The joy of playing this on the Alpha and the first one it's just joyful. We've also got the sequel to Thunder Hoop Fun to hoop to. And this was closer to Alligator Hunt in a weird way. It's just the way it feels. Does that make sense? Many prefer the original, and I did for a time, but now my favourite pants are firmly in the sequel's laundry basket. Number 2. And in second place is Hours Awakening and Cathedral City Duo Collection. Now this is the very second Duo Collection. The first one was the awesome Tanglewood, and I forget the other one. St. Crisis, innit? Anyway, you know what I mean. Bloody love that collection. And while that one was two very separate games, this time round the games are both very similar. And you don't have to worry that you don't get enough bang for your buck. Pound. There is no fear of that here. Both games are sprawling adventure worlds to explore and uncover, getting new items and powers to help you go deeper elsewhere. You know the drill. And these are both fine examples of that type of play. You can really get immersed in either game if you give yourself and the game time. A bad banger of a collection and no mistake. Number 1. And in first place is the Irem Arcade 1 collection. R-Type is on this collection, no notes. Seriously though, this is a fantastic collection, and although I wrestled with the top spot a lot when doing this list, the top 3 spots actually, the more I looked at it, the more I couldn't argue. And besides, R-Type is on this card. R-Type, it's still sadly the only R-Type we have. Delta has made a resurgence, so one can hope we get the original PS1 version with slowdown, thank you very much. You say glitch, I say feature. Let's call the whole thing off. But I like most of the games on here. This Samurai game is really cool. Chopper one's really good. Moon one is really good. It's just a really good collection. There's only one shit sports game on it, but we can just pretend that doesn't exist, can't we? Right, so this is the time when I try to create my idea of the perfect cart from the third year of Evercade games. Though I try to balance it where possible so there is a mixture of game types. Sometimes that's a bit hard when there are very specific games I love that can be a bit similar. In the first 2 year retrospective videos we went for a 14 game cart, and I think on balance 12 is probably a more realistic number for this year. So remember, this isn't a ranking, these are just the games in order they're released with the other collections, so the number at the start doesn't mean anything, alright? So number 1 is Tricia RPG, gotta have an RPG in there, that's from the Renovation collection. Number 2, Hardcore 4x4. It's a racing game, something from the Gremlins collection. You gotta have one dodgy game on the car, ain't you? And you know how much I love the PS1 3D games, especially if they're dodge. Yeah, gotta have this. Number 3, I've gone for Micro Mages, which is a platform multiplayer. We've got a big multiplayer game, haven't we? This is from the Morph Cat Games collection. I know I probably prefer Bubble and the Punch game, but that one's a demo in it, and you've got to have some kind of multiplayer game on here, so I've had to stick with that. And number 4 is Cloudy Mountain, another RPG. I know we need a couple on there because, let's face it, later on there's not going to be much variety. Yeah, let's put it out there now. That's from the Intellivision collection too. And number 5, we're starting to get a pattern soon emerging. It's EDF, Earth Defense Force, a horizontal scrolling shooter from the Jellicoe arcade collection. At 6, sticking another racer in there with Roll Rally 2. Of course I was going to put this in here. At number 7, I had to choose one or two of them, I thought, so I went for Cathedral from that Geo collection range. It's damn good, and I think it's slightly more polished than the other one. Right, this is when I just give up on variety. At number 8 is Battle Chopper. It's a shooter. It's from the iRoom collection. At number 9 is In the Hunt, a side-scrolling shooter from the iRoom collection. At number 10 is R-Type, a side-scrolling shooter from the iRoom collection. At number 11 is Snow Bros, a single-screen elimination. I've got to stick one of them on there. I tried to go for only one, I'm trying to be good. That's from Toplin Arcade 1. And finally 12 is Truxton, a vertical scrolling shooter from the Toplin Arcade 1 collection. I felt I needed a couple on there. I do really like Truxton, probably just not as much as other people do. So yeah, that's it, my 12 games. And my final thoughts on the third year of Evercade. There we have it, that's the third year. Pretty similar start to the previous year. 2 less collections than last year and 4 less than the first year. But we did get the EXP with Tatty on Toast, built-in Ghouls and Ghosts. And we also got the first season of Game of the Month. Not forgetting the new third Blue Label range home computer collection. So all in all, I think the job was still a good one. It's always nice to have a bit more in it. Join me in the next video between Christmas and the New Year, where we will be taking a look at 2025 on Evercade as a whole, ranking our favourite collections and choosing our favourite games of 2025. Then after the New Year, I will finally be posting my rankings of each of the new carts released in December, finally ranking the secret games and continuing my retrospective look at Evercade's past with our Year 4 retrospective special. But what are your thoughts on the Evercade's third year? How would you rank the carts and what would your Year 3 collection look like? As always, my friends, let me know in the comments below. And if you made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. But you know what? I'm just chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. I hope you all have an awesome Christmas, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.